Please.
Recording started.
Thank you. Welcome everyone to this, the 11th Housing Repairs online show and share here at the Newark and Sherwood District Council. Before sharing with you what we're going to cover today, just a quick reminder of why we do these show and shares. Next slide, please. They're an opportunity for us, the core team, to celebrate what we've achieved, demo any working software and share information on progress made. But most importantly, it's an opportunity for you, our collaborators and supporters, to give us feedback and ask any questions that you may have. So what we're going to cover today, well, in a moment, I'll just remind you of our vision before handing over to our two guest speakers. We have Tom Harrison, who's a transformation manager at the London Borough of Redbridge, and he's going to share with us how Housing Repairs is set up at Redbridge currently, while they're taking the DLUC MVP tenant repair service and the desired outcomes that they expect from that integration. We'll then hear from Ivan Vinichenko, who's a lead delivery manager from Maytech and managing that integration at Redbridge, and he'll share with us some of the challenges that they face and how they're going to be addressed. I'll then give a quick recap of what progress we made in the current sprint, and our focus for the next, before handing over to Kristen McIntosh, our product owner, who will tell you how you can engage with the project. And then there's an opportunity for you to ask any questions or provide any feedback to the team. Okay, next slide. So what we're going to cover, our vision. Thank you. So our vision is to design and build a reusable and accessible online repair reporting tool that requires no login, and most critically, residents prefer to use as it meets their needs. A tool that is integratable with various scheduling systems through open, scalable and accessible APIs, enabling the tool we hope to be adopted by local authorities across the UK. I'm now going to hand over to Tom Harrison.
Cool, thanks, Paul. So as Paul mentioned, my name is Tom Harrison. I work at Redbridge Council. So if you go on to the next slide, I'll tell you a bit about what we do. So Housing Repairs at Redbridge is a fully outsourced service, so including the contact centre, that's all taken care of by Mears. We don't have any online reporting functionality currently. So what happens is that people ring up, people in the Mears contact centre log into our housing management system, raise a repair. That then kicks off a workflow in the Mears system, MCM, which provides their scheduling and contract management functionality. And then any variations that fall outside of our normal contract go back towards Redbridge staff for them to approve. And they also conduct the pre and post inspections. But for the most part, like, that entire service is run by Mears. So if we go on to the next slide. Part of the reason for this is we're just a very small housing provider. So we've only got 5,000 units. Where that presents problems for us is we just don't have a huge amount of money to kind of create decent solutions. So to the cost of developing something like online repairs from scratch, look at the amount of money you might save from doing it. Like, when you've only got 5,000 units, like, the numbers just don't add up. So what we're looking for is options where we can collaborate with other councils and kind of share development costs, make sure we're still getting best in class services, not being on the hook for developing all of it ourselves. So DLUC Online Repairs is the first example. We really like the work that's being done. Currently, it's being built around universal housing and DRS rather than MCM. And so kind of our contribution to the project is saying, okay, we're going to build or pay for the construction of integration between DLUC Online Repairs and MCM. But then that's also going to be open source. That'll go back into the main repo. And so anybody else that might use MCM in future has got that ready to go. And then in a similar vein, we've got some more work coming up across housing management. So we're partnering with Kingston and Newham on another housing DLUC project. And in this instance, we'll be reusing code from Hackney. But it's the same approach, like sharing development costs with other councils. Go on to the next slide. And so, in terms of housing repairs in Redbridge, one of the kind of things we know we've had to do for a long time is bring in the online repair functionality. So the objective we had going into this project were looking for a channel shift of about 25%, which is a figure that we agreed with Mears as part of their contract. Just meet resident expectations. Like, it's kind of crazy that at this point in time you can't raise repairs online in Redbridge, and we know that's something we need to fix. But then also, make that contribution to the online repairs project by expanding the number of systems it can integrate with. And finally, demonstrate these new collaborative ways of working to Redbridge, which is not something we're particularly good at so far. We have a tendency to isolate ourselves on these little islands and try and do everything ourselves, and it just isn't letting us progress as quickly as we should be. So with that, I'll pass over to Ivan.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, nice to meet you. So let's cover a little bit on development from our side. So it will be short, and we can address a lot of Q&A session if we're willing to. So initially, the idea was to take just a Lincoln as a code base with all this already done implementation and just to adopt this for the Redbridge. And initial idea was to integrate with MCM and the MAC. Northgate. So as well, the initial idea was to host it in Azure as everything else been made. But at the last point, we changed it and we want to host it in AWS. So it's extend kind of our possibilities of where we can host, by the way. And during the development phase, as a pre-development phase, we're facing a lot of unknowns because we start reading a lot of documentation. How to work with MCM is completely new for us, and we found this is the problem. They work in it differently. So we have, as Tom mentioned, we have no solution online for the Redbridge itself. So we need directly integrate with the MERS, and the MERS is a kind of a comprehensive system. And a lot of technicalities, they want to have much more than initially the solution, the portal, as we can call this, provides for us. This is a straightforward user journey. And this where the main part was. We have a good backend engineers who's dealing with this stuff, and we make a great integration with it. So this was the main challenge for us. To find out how it works, so how we can book appointment, because this was completely different. As well, then other stuff, we dropped the integration with NAC, and we decided to have an address database to be hosted within the Maytag infrastructure, as because the project is the first in the history, I guess, which will be hosted inside the Maytag. And we decide, so for the infrastructure and development, it will be better if we will have an API developed by Maytag, which provide as addresses integration. And addresses will be static for the moment. They will be updated on a regular basis if they need it, because there's something not change every day, as you may imagine. Yeah, so we're feeding this from our infrastructure in the Maytag where the project will be located. So yeah, this is in short. So how it was made. So right now we're in a final stages. Tomorrow we'll have a joint UAT session with the MERS to go and pass all the cases of infrastructure and integration point, and we're on a final line to make our final bits and be ready for delivery. Thank you.
Okay. Next slide. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Ivan, for sharing. So progress made on the current sprint here at Newark and Sherwood. We've progressed the build out of the housing repairs online service for those pages common across all three repair journeys, and you'll see some examples here. We've set the required repair priority again for all three repair journeys. We've configured the service for communal SORs, and we progressed the build out of the service pages for communal repair journey. And there's a couple of examples there of pages that we've completed. Next slide. So what will be our focus for the next sprint? Well, we'll continue to build out the HRO service pages, again, common across all three repair journeys. We'll flow user entered data for communal repairs to DRS, and this is the description data and the specific location of where the problem exists. We'll enable the HR service to display leasehold and communal addresses, similar to the tenant repair journey. We'll configure the HR service for leasehold SORs. And finally, we'll look to complete a text byte to investigate how the repair number can be kept when a resident changes their repair appointment after submitting a repair. I'll now hand over to Kristen.
Hi, so really its next bit is about engaging with us. So obviously we've got some great stuff going on, or Tom's got great stuff going on at Redbridge, and also more widely we get both with ourselves and Lincoln. We're making great progress on the solution, but what we really want is more people to get involved, and also just to talk to us, tell us what you need. We're coming across different challenges all the time, and it's great. We find it's great to actually get other viewpoints. Everyone works with different systems, so really would appreciate if you can, or have got something that you want to say or to share, or problems that you encounter or that you can see it happening if you were to actually implement this. Tell us, because actually if we can stop something early and work out a way around it before we actually build it, it's better for everyone, saves headaches further on in the line. So ways to engage with us: we have got our blog, we've got the website, or just please contact us. We're on email, we're on Teams. There's details on contact details as well on the website, both myself and from Fraser from Maytech. Please get it. I say it every time, but please get in touch with us. We do want to talk to you. We want to hear what's going on. We don't just want to talk to you and tell you how to take that you must take this on, because we know it doesn't always work with timings and with other projects that are going on. Also, it's got to be the right solution for you. But what we'd really appreciate is your feedback. Tell us what else will affect you. Tell us how it's going with your system, so that we can actually build the best product that's going to meet the needs of the widest number of different organisations. And I'll keep quiet now because my voice is starting to go.
You did very well there, Kristen. Okay, so now an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may have, or share any feedback on what's been shared today. So, Leon.
Thanks for that. Yeah, it's really good to see the work that's been taking place to expand the use of the service. So it's really helpful to hear from Tom and their experiences at Redbridge. So my question kind of flitters around that. I noticed in the slide when Tom was talking, he said that the current process starts off in their housing management system and then it kicks off to the MERS system. So were there any changes that you had to make to the service to fit that process, or have you used it as it was in the MVP initially?
Yeah, I should have expanded on this. So what we've actually done is we now bypass the housing management system entirely. So we go directly into MCM. What this means is that the staff at MERS don't have to use our housing management system. They can just log all their work in MCM. And then after the fact, we kind of replicate this information back into our housing system. What that means for us is it just makes the entire setup a lot neater. And so when we come to move off our housing management system, it's going to be a lot simpler.
Okay, so moving that information back to the housing management system, is that a manual process or is it an automated process?
It's done via API. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon, for that question. Craig.
My question is, we use the online repairs at the minute with DRS and Servitor, but we have a amount of online repairs in our DRS system that have been raised online but have no job description and no appointment slots. So we don't know anything about them repairs. They're just sat in our backlog of repairs and we don't know what to do with them.
Hi, Craig. I've spoken to Ruben and we're looking at this with you on Thursday. So hopefully we'll be able to get to the back of it by then. If not, I'll have to speak to Maytech and see. We think it's where there's a job's missing and a workforce person, but we're not sure. We're going to be looking at that on Thursday with you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Leon?
Yeah, I'll ask another question because that's what I like doing. I think I noticed on your slide as well, Paul, for the Lincoln project, there was a mention of repair priorities. Just wanted to know, in terms of repair priorities, obviously a lot of councils change their priority codes based on the season. Is that something which councils can change themselves, or?
Yes, it is indeed. And so everything is configurable within the housing repairs online service. Similarly, you've got the priorities, you've also got the SOR codes. So these are highly configurable and can be supported by the local authorities themselves.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any more questions from anyone? Okay, it doesn't appear that we've got any more questions. As Leon, you've got your hand up still. Is that to ask a question?
Yeah, I would probably just say we do have a collaborative workshop for the housing repairs service on schedule for the 1st of November. So if there are any councils who wish to participate, if they can email me at leon@localdigital.gov.uk, I'll be happy to send out an invitation for that. The session will be lasting around 3 hours, so it's 9:30 until 12:30.
If you could put your address in the chat, then people can copy and paste that from the chat, Leon.
Sure, will do.
Excellent. Patrick.
Hi, thanks for sharing this morning. I just wanted to, it's to the guys from Redbridge, I guess, to confirm. So this is the first of its kind in regards to an online repairs tool. So I just wanted to know what, was it just telephony before that, or were there kind of other alternative kind of mediums in which people could report a repair?
Yeah, it's all been on the phone.
Okay.
I think there is officially like an email that you can send to, but people have learned that if you send an email, it doesn't get replied to. So
Okay.
it's all done on the phone.
And is there, I wonder if you're able to share, or kind of if there's more insight you can get. I'll probably reach out to you, Tom, but in regards to your product goals, in terms of what your kind of short-term, medium-term, long-term goals are from that kind of going online and moving forward, and what your desired outcomes are.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, get in touch. I'll drop my email address into the chat.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Patrick. Is there any other questions anyone wants to ask? So it doesn't appear that there's any more questions that are going to be asked of the team today. So therefore, thank you everyone for attending. We'll close the show and share there, and we'll look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks' time. Thanks, everyone.